Normally, your vote doesn't matter. Whether it be Democrats or Republicans, it's the same thing. They don't just give a shit about you. This clip I'm going to put here is for awareness purposes only. I do not want to copyrights, but I don't give a shit about you. So when you're saying you like Democrats or the Republicans, they're both it's the same side of the same coin. They don't give a shit about you. And like I said before, presidents are not elected; they are appointed, and they all are related. So you don't vote for president. A president is appointed. He's not elected because your vote don't count. Watch the clip for and think for yourself. Okay, think for yourself. I'm out of here.
Something that you spoke on recently, and I was like, "That's an excellent point." The Great Compromise of 1877.
Oh yes.
And that shows that there is no difference between Democrat or Republican. If you can break that down for us, what exactly happened during that compromise of 1877?
Wormley Hotel, February 26, 1877. You had the Republicans, Democrats, they came together because they wanted to put black people back on the plantation.
Right.
Okay, so you had the Reconstruction age, 1865 to 1877. Emancipation Proclamation, oh yes, Negroes are free. Not necessarily. Emancipation, as we were taught, 5 minutes for our economy, means I free you from my hand, but not from my control. So you let all of these black folks go free to go out, no food, no clothing, no shelter, no nothing, just, hey, get up out of here. Okay, so that's why some of them went back to shackles willingly, and some of them had to go into the sharecropping stuff, or some of them had to find ways to get work here and there. But this government said, well, we got a lot of land and a lot of businesses and a lot of companies that need these hands to keep working, so let's find a way to put them back on the plantation. Well, Democrats and Republicans agreed at that time, like unanimously. Let's put them back on the plantation. It was called the Great Compromise, or also known as the Great Betrayal of 1877. And so they found a way to put us back on the plantation so we can continue to work. Same way in a enslaved type of circumstance where we're not making anywhere near as much money as we should. We had all the skills, the tools, etc. And even at that time, for a white man to be seen with a hammer or types of major equipment, it looked a little weird because we were the main ones doing that. Right. The brick masonry, the electrical work, any type of physical labor that was normal for us. As a matter of fact, they looked down on any of their white brethren who was, no, that's for the Negroes. Let them do that, right? So at that time, if they could compromise and come to an agreement, and by the way, it was introduced, the idea, by a Jewish man by the name of William Levy. And that man is who really pushed the idea, kind of introduced it. And they said, that's just a pretty good idea that we should do that because, well, hell, we'll make more money, we'll work less, and we know they will agree to do that. So let's go ahead and make that happen. So at that time, if they can agree in the 1800s, Democrats and Republicans, to put black people back on the plantation, I believe they will agree to do the same thing in present time. I don't see this Democrat, Republican, red, blue. Okay, if we in the hood and we know Bloods and Crips and y'all doing the same things in politics, we can't trust you. It's an immature, perpetual circumstance. So I went from the hood and put on a suit and we doing the same thing up here?
Wow.
It makes no damn sense to me. I don't understand this. How is it that I can pay you and you say, well, Republicans are bad, I don't like them, oh my God, bad, or Democrats, they just stupid, bad. Okay, both of you look stupid to this very day. All you're doing is arguing. The same situations in our communities right now that has continued to be in the same situation for hundreds of years. Because y'all keep saying it's these people and they keep saying it's those people. It's both of y'all. And then right underneath these 535 members of Congress, Democrats, Republicans, Senate and House majority or House representatives, etc. Above that, that's where you have the real power. The bankers, pharmaceuticals, etc. Congress doesn't run much. They're supposed to be able to pass laws, etc., veto the president's decisions, etc., but they don't even have the control. The president doesn't even have the control. So the president now is the figurehead. He looks a certain way, makes you believe in the nation that we call the United States of America. But who's behind him and or her?
That's right.
Those are the people with the real power.
Yes.
So again, at this point, if you came to an agreement back then, Democrats and Republicans, like Brother Kendrick Lamar said, if that's what you came to an agreement on, to put our people back on the plantation, then I understand that there is a situation of power above everything else.
For sure.
And if it benefits all of you to do something that destroys an entire group of people, I believe they'll do it.
Yes.
I believe there are Democrats and Republicans working behind the scenes together to keep our people down as long as it is mutually beneficial.
Yes, I agree with that
believe
too.
that there are Democrats and Republicans coming together right now
Yes.
I
to
agree.
keep us in a perpetual
I agree with that.
type of enslavement, whether it's economic, educational, familial, etc. I believe that there are people working together. I know that there are. Just like there are white and black people at the top working together to keep us in the enslaved position that we're in. Very few of them at the top. It's not just white folks at the top doing this.
no.
It's not just Arabs. It's not just a few Chinese. It ain't just. It is a conglomerate of very evil, wicked individuals who say that these people are the useless eaters that we have to control. And we have to depopulate billions of them so that we can maintain our control and dominance.
right.
I believe it is a mix
Yeah.
of them now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't get involved in that. They came together back then. I'm sure they're coming together now
Yeah.
quietly.
Yeah, and do the
And
same
making
shit.
everyone believe that, hey, Democrats are the right one, or hey, Republicans are the right one.
Nope.
Anytime there's a conflict between two or more parties, you always look for the hidden third party behind
That's a
that
bar.
is keeping the fighting going.
That's a
So that
bar.
person whispering in your ear, Caleb, I saw that nigga, what they're doing. Some craziness, right?
Yep.
Then they go and whisper, hey, I heard this about Caleb. I saw the sister over here talking about you. Y'all start arguing, and you don't know that it's a hidden third person
Making all this go.
making you go back and forth. It's a basic in war, and I think there's still office. Our condition will be the same.
Yes.
Our environment will be the same.
Yeah.
Our community will be the same. As a matter of fact, they're going to get worse because we continue to try to cast a vote, which etymologically goes back to the word which means to wish. So we're going to wish and pray and hope and continue to do that instead of focusing on building up our own communities. I'm genuinely not interested in voting for another Pharaoh. I'm not interested in going into another system of Rome, another system of Babylon. That is what it is. It is over. So again, some of y'all are like, well, man, Brother Reason, man, I don't think it's this. If you don't vote for this person, you're voting for Trump. No, if you don't get the hell up and start changing your own goddamn condition, it will continue to perpetuate in its negativity. Stop trying to scare people into voting for another damn slave master. Whatever that is. Again, I appreciate Trump sometimes because sometimes he just says what he feels. I'd rather you do that than try to hide a knife behind your back like Joe Biden and stab me later on. Tell me how you feel. Good, bad, or indifferent. Kamala Harris, I even appreciate her at times because she lies so stupidly. And it's embarrassing. And they both have that in common. So, and by the way, she doesn't identify as a black woman. And if she did, I think that's only when she's talking about collard greens, dancing. When she talks about, I believe, putting that hot sauce on fried chicken, wearing Timberland boots. That's when she talks about being a black woman. Smoking weed, things like that. But in reality, these are not the people who we should focus on to save us. Again, if you decide to vote for them, that is up to you. Brother Reza, Islam's stance is we know where this system is going.
Yeah.
We know where it is. That's what it is. Some people want me to choose a side.
Hell no.
Well, that's not God's side. Now, again, you can say whatever you want because people are like, well, let's be practical. Well, practically, you haven't done nothing for your damn self. And if you don't do that, and if you continue to say, well, I'm just going to put it on this person, and maybe we'll get it through them.
Right.
The next person will be the best person. Biden was the right person. Obama was the right person. No, they're not the right person because they're in the same seat. I said this before, same seat as Nixon, same seat as JFK, same seat as Lyndon B. Johnson, same seat. They're in the same satanic seat. And even if they have good intentions, if Trump has good intentions, if Kamala has good
Can't
intentions,
do it.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who's
Can't
also
do it.
on the
Can't
ballot,
do it.
if he has good intentions, that's wonderful. But they're in that house of Satan. You think you're going to change the system?
Nope.
I don't think Trump could change it if he wanted to. I don't think Biden could change it. I don't think Kamala could change it.
Right.
But again, they can make people hope and believe that something will come out of Satan's house. All right, go keep doing your thing. We'll be out here building with our people and creating more solutions. So again, I know that was kind of a long answer for me to basically say, I'm just not interested, brother. Like I'm more so disgusted because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in it anymore. It is embarrassing. It is irritating for me to hear the same thing every 4 years. The number 4 represents foundation. We don't focus on our 4, but we continue to focus on theirs. Build your own. because power only respects power. They don't respect the vote. They don't respect a cry. They don't respect us begging. They respect power. If you don't have no money behind an agenda, stop talking. If you don't have power to exercise and organize your own people, stop talking. If you only want to say vote, 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 you are an embarrassment. It doesn't matter how many PhDs, how many master's degrees you have, you are going to be laughed at by those who are in control. They laugh at every single person who just yells vote, vote, vote. And if you don't vote for this person, that's a vote for them. It's a game. You don't look at the electoral colleges. You don't look at the finishing schools where they groom presidential candidates. You don't look at who funds them. You don't look at the fact that they're selected before they're elected. You don't know the process of this because you're still saying the word vote. People who have power don't say vote.
At all. And we have these conversations all the time.
Come on, man. People will get mad at it. I don't care, brother. At the end of the day, Mr. Farrakhan has already given us the parameters of this whole situation. If we do not do something for ourselves, we will continue to be enslaved.
That's right.
That is it. Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, do for self or suffer the consequences. You will get mad at me. I seriously don't give a damn. Because once our people rise up and build our own everything and separate from the system, as many of us are already doing in different ways, we'll see our success grow. Asians don't beg, Jews don't beg, even LGBTQ got so much money and power. You see them with their flag in front of the White House.
Wow.
The hell does that mean? The hell are you begging for? Stop yelling at me saying vote. Try to make me choose somebody. Walk up to me face to face and say, Reason, who are you going to choose? I dare you, seriously.
Wow.
You're going to get everything I just told you. I'm not interested. But some people, I'll tell you this as well, brother. Some people want those of us who they say have influence or who the people listen to, they want us to pick one of those sides. Like they really, I just need you to say this. But you never want me to tell you
the truth,
to take responsibility and build for yourself. This is why racist white people look right. Because they're like, all y'all want is a handout. This is what they say. All you want is a handout. Now, those of us who have leadership qualities and follow guidance from leadership, etc., we say do for self. And we exercise that by doing it as best as we can. But you have a system that genuinely does not care about us. We have to get this through our head. Well, reason we get the popular vote, if we get this, reason we go meet with them, if we...
Not gonna work.
It is hard for a lot of our people to realize this because we genuinely have that white Jesus complex.
We do.
Still, we really massive please.
Sky Daddy as well.
Brother, that Sky Daddy is real for a lot of people. Again, they're trying to rationalize insanity. Well, maybe this time, maybe that time, y'all gonna be saying vote for the next 20, 30 years until they take away your right to do it again. They're working on that. Then they're gonna say, well, hell, you need money to cast a vote. In a minute, you're gonna have to pay for
one Zoom call. Which then further proves that we can mobilize, we can monetize, we can circulate our dollars overnight towards Black-owned businesses, towards our hospitals, infrastructure, military, our own police departments, all of these things. How frustrated do you get of hearing, man, this politician was able to raise $80 million off of one Zoom call, you got AKAs moving together, Divine Nine, mobilizing, but then we can't do this for everyday things.
It's because there's someone who's invested in her for a specific agenda. Kamala Harris is funded by Alphabet Inc. Kamala Harris is funded by AIPAC. See, okay, let's just pause for a second. Let's realize something. Let's get all the way down to this. Who is funding these people? And you start with AIPAC, the American Israeli Public Action Committee. Okay, what do? They brag about the fact that they are the #1 donor to a large number of Democratic candidates in the United States. They brag about this. Why do they brag about this? Because they are a foreign entity who funds domestic politicians, people from outside of this country funding politicians in this country to do things that benefit them in their country. They have not registered as a foreign agent. You have influence. How they say, Russia has influenced the election. No, Israel is. AIPAC. That's no secret. Kamala is not funded by interest groups that have the interests of the people here as much as other groups fund her. So the big checks are coming from somebody outside of the U.S. who do not have an interest in the U.S. They have an interest in the U.S. bowing down to them. So I want to make that very clear for y'all thinking, it just came from a Zoom call. Did you see the account? Did you see where the money really came from?
Facts.
Let's make this clear again. In research, until you get the actual facts, you shouldn't really speak. Because they say, oh man, she raised 100 million. No. She was invested in with 100 million. Switch the word. This ain't some damn, oh, let's give her the money and we hope for the best. We believe in ourselves. No, you got some people who did do that. Sure, I'm sure the sororities, I'm sure some fraternities, I'm sure it's just random people donating had good intentions. I have no doubt about that whatsoever. But you have vested interest groups, banking organizations, pharmaceutical companies, oil and gas, AIPAC, the biggest one, who comes together and they say, we have an agenda. These are the things we want her to do. So we're going to pay for her to do it. That's why she spoke at AIPAC years ago, and she spoke again recently. Why? Because this is who pay my checks. Let me go get looking nice and go speak in front of them. She never does that for black organizations. So again, look at who funds the person. That's who you know who they bow down to and who they will keep as a priority. It's not our people.
Something that you spoke on recently, and I was like, it's an excellent point. The Great Compromise of 1877.
Oh yes.
And that shows that there is no difference between Democrat or Republican. You can break.
If you want to see the whole video, the whole video is right here. Look. Go right here and see the whole video.
Send the money to the Ukraine.
You see the whole video.
They send the money to Israel.
See, here we go.
Off the top.
Here we go. That's the whole video.
I'm not talking about from the net. I'm talking about the gross. They take the one at the top of Israel and they send it over there right before they start paying bills and everything in the U.S.
Facts.
They make that a priority, but when it comes to their own citizens, we ain't got it. That's what they're trying to tell you. Okay, so what did the most honorable Elijah Muhammad say in his book, The Fall of America, the black and red book with fire on it? He said separation is our greatest and only or best and only solution.
I agree with that.
But new. Why did
I
he
agree
say
with
that?
that.
He said once the dollar goes down,
We integrate. That was it. That was it. From the time we integrate, that was it. Separation is our best weapon. Be by yourself. I'm on the peace of one love, folks. Much love.
See, it's not real until they